Hola, hola, hi, buenos dias, bom dia, and good morning. My name is Melinda E. Ramirez, and I am HACE's Director of Leadership Programs. My pronouns are she, her, and ella. I am Latina with dark brown curly hair and wearing a very hot pink blazer to celebrate the beautiful sunny day here in Tennessee. So, welcome all, and let me know in the chat where you are tuning in from. And to get today kicked off with a bang, I would love to talk about the wonderful events that we have today, a little bit about ASE before we go into our lovely guest who is joining us internationally. So, for those of us who are tuning in for the very first time, ASE stands for the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement. Our mission is to positively impact the Latinos in the American workplace and supporting them through every phase of their career through insight, access, and support. And the numerous ways that we have that is a great announcement and events today at 11:30 a.m. Join us. We have our executive leadership tour. Then on November 10th, on Friday, our Chicago Auxiliary Board is hosting a fundraising event where we are all working together to support our students and looking to raise $100,000 to award up to 40 student scholarships. So if you can't join in from Chicago, feel free to go onto our website. You can click to donate now. And most importantly, to close out the month on November 30th, we have our coaching career. We understand that life has its very own season. So, whatever season you're in life, make sure that you check that out because we're here to support. And with that said, I want to give a warm welcome to Maria Medrano, who is our VP and Global Head of Community and Belonging at Equinix. And I say warm because she is joining us somewhere cold. Maria, hola, hola, how are you?
Hola, hola, estoy muy bien, mucho gusto. I hope everyone is well. And I'll just do my introduction as well, right? My pronouns are she, her, and
Absolutely.
I'm connecting with you as a Mexican American here, wearing some glasses that look like they're cheetah print, and I have on a leather black jacket because it is cold. Because I'm connecting from Warsaw, Poland, and my hair is in a chongo or in a bun, as we say in the office.
I love that. We're in the world, joining in from Poland. I love that. Sending you some warm vibes. So, Maria, I know we're talking about some warmth in the morning, cafecito. I don't really do that, but I drink there. Tell us a little bit about your cafecito or morning beverage of choice.
Oh, so we are right there with you, or I should say, I'm right there with you. I'm not a cafecito drinker. I'm a tea drinker, and it's one of my
Mhm.
special rituals that I have with my dad, where we love to do teas. And so I'm going to say that I'm blessed to have a dad that loves to make my tea every morning, and it could be
Oh,
hierbabuena, it could be menta, it could be any rural herbal tea that we've used in our families for many decades, and I find it as a wonderful treat. So that is my
yes.
beverage of choice.
I love that your papi makes your tea. I know when I go back home to New York and I'm not feeling well, my dad has his concoction of tea.
Mhm.
And some of it's not great, but it does the job.
No, it does the job. Let me tell you, when my dad sees that I've been sitting in meetings for 12 hours, he'll come in and tell me, you need to drink this tea porque you've been sitting down way too long and it needs to help you fix your hígado or whatever it may be. And he'll love to appreciate it because it does work.
I love that. We'll need to talk about recipes. But in the meantime, for our audience tuning in, I love that they're putting the things that they drink. Maria, tell our audience a little bit about your cultural and professional backgrounds.
Absolutely. So, Mexican American. I was born and raised in the Mission District of San Francisco. My mom and dad met there. My mom had me while in high school. So when I say I had humble beginnings that I'm super proud of. I grew up in the Bay Area. I spent the first 15 years of my life in the city of San Francisco, and then moved to Vallejo, California. If anybody knows of Vallejo, it's one of our most diverse cities in the Bay as well. And I was the first in my family to graduate high school, and the first to go to college. And I was the first to go to graduate school, not once, but twice. And I was the
All
first
right.
to break it into corporate America and have a very successful 20-year career here in corporate America. So it's uh,
Wow.
been a great pleasure. And as in any Mexican American family, my the thing that I like to share as well is I'm the oldest and the only girl, and I have three brothers. Entonces,
Ah,
sí, a mí me tocó la chinga, right? Having brothers.
I
So
love that.
that's who I am.
I'm the oldest of three, and I have two younger brothers, so they definitely taught me how to toughen up real quick.
Yeah.
So, Maria, I love how you were talking about backstage, how you're like, I love to bring my authentic self because you're the first of many high school graduates, college graduate school, not once but twice. Why is this so important for you to really talk about leveraging your Latinidad in what you do at work? And also on the side, you're also a founder of something else. So, can you tell our audience a little bit about that?
Yeah. So on the side, right, or the legacy piece is I'm the founder of Inspírame, which our mission is to help end generational poverty through educational attainment. We build apps that we make free to the community because I think it's super important that our comunidad understand
Yes.
that we need their voices. We need their voices in the classroom so they can get the skills they need, so we can get them into those roles that are needed to ensure that we bridge that digital divide that is very, very real. And it connects back to why I'm in the corporate space still, because our voices are important. We bring immense value to the conversation from a corporate perspective. When I think about my lived experience of being the first in my family, and all of the challenges that we went through, talk about our ability to be scalable, talk about our ability to be scrappy, talk about our ability to be agile
Yes.
and collaborative and influencer and every other skill that we have naturally earned through our lived experience. And that's what I always like to share and emphasize when I'm in these corporate walls and even outside in the community, which is where I spend a lot of my time with Inspírame, because it's that opportunity to ensure that we can build a bridge between so many worlds that are apart that actually need to come together. And so that's the value of sharing my story, the value of talking about what's possible, and the
Mm-hmm.
value of also acknowledging that it's not easy. It has not been easy. I mean, I can
Yes.
share so many stories because a part of just being, here at Equinix in this VP role and being a founder, I'm also the mom to three kids and a wife to a husband of 25 years and a
Wow.
daughter, sister, and a comadre and a nina. I mean, you fill in all those titles that are so important to us as Latinas that we don't want to give away. And many people that I run into, especially in the youth, think you have to give that away to actually have opportunities. And I like to share my story to say, no, you can do it all, as long as you don't lose sight to who you are and what's important to you.
I love that. I love how you talked about the intersectionality within everything and who you are. And also importantly, right, having that support system to be able to move forward, whether it's a papi making you there, whether it's another community or allies.
Mhm.
So with Equinix, I know you had talked a little bit about how it's so important for you to talk about there's not much representation and why you take so much pride being a VP and a global head. Tell us a little bit about what are some innovative strategies that your company has to really foster a diverse, inclusive workplace?
Equinix is a really special place. I've found the reality of Equinix having this magic piece, and the magic around Equinix is the important value they put on people and the important
Mm,
value they put on ensuring that this a culture that's built on kindness, but also innovation and the culture that we need to ensure that every employee has a voice. We have this special saying, right, that at Equinix, you're safe, you belong, and you matter.
mm,
And so, one example of what Equinix has done a really great job on is establishing what we call We Are Equinix
mm.
teams. And these We Are Equinix teams are to drive culture across our global infrastructure. And we have a large footprint, which is why I'm here in Warsaw, Poland. But we also don't want to minimize the importance of bringing the local aspect, right? Of really
Right.
recognizing what is important in each local region to ensure that employees can feel that they can participate and that they matter in an organization. And so what excites me about this is that the We Are Equinix teams,
Mhm.
we have well over 35 of them around the globe. And I say more because we're daily thinking about how we're adding more as we're growing the company, is that these don't substitute the very important ERGs that are needed in
Yes.
organizations. And so at Equinix, we call our ERGs EECNs. And we have those established that are needed for the community, for what we need to ensure that we're talking about representation, what we're doing, talking about progression and retention of talent and how we can drive business impact in the organization. But the additional piece is this innovative piece on the We Are Equinix teams that
Mhm.
really do provide an opportunity to bring people together, connected by the localization of their actual office location, which is nothing that I've ever seen across any other organization that I've worked at, that I really do feel is a differentiator that helps to bring this magic of Equinix to life.
Thank you for sharing that. And you've been to many events, you've been to many countries, you've got to seen it all. So for you to say, really fostering that safe space and that community and that belonging really does speak volumes of that. So Maria, tell our audience a little bit more at your company. How can you really take community and belonging to the next level? And how does the company really serve the local communities?
I thank you for that question, because I think that's probably one of the main reasons I decided to join Equinix on their journey, is the real important role they place in community impact. So
Mhm.
under my team, I have the leadership opportunity to lead diversity and inclusion and belonging. I have the We Are Equinix team and strategy. I also have the responsibility of wellness across the organization at a global level,
Important.
and the community impact. And the community impact is the work that we're doing in the community in partnership with our foundation. And so that means that it's very critical that we are contributing in those communities where we are
Right.
generating immense value for both our customers and also from a shareholder perspective, from a revenue perspective. And so we've been establishing lots of relationships in every corner of this earth, because that's where we're doing business. And our foundation is fairly new. We just celebrated our first year, but the
Congrats.
foundation, thank you, the foundation strategy we place is so intentional. That's what's really gets me really excited. So I've had the opportunity to meet many of our recipients who are doing real work in our backyards, talking about real needs. Our primary focus is how we can contribute to bridging that digital divide, and that
Yes.
is spending our time. And it's not it's more than just writing checks, right? To be able to say we're doing something from a community impact perspective, but how are we getting our employees involved? How do we ensure we give them the opportunity to participate in whatever they feel is right for them from a contribution perspective? And I believe firmly that by providing those opportunities, we're naturally helping an employee engagement strategy. We're
Mhm.
naturally helping us retain talent. And there's a sense of pride that comes with being able to say that you work at a company that gives you the opportunity to choose how you spend your time, and that it can be
Yes.
done in the communities that you live, work in. And I also like to say at the word pray in, right? It's a very, very special place. And so that is how we look at our strategy from a community impact perspective of how do we contribute to bridging the digital divide, and how do we establish these relationships that they're going to be much longer than just, writing a check per se.
Yes, I mean, definitely important. It is important to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. So, Maria, how do you think all those efforts that you had talked about, closing that digital divide, really push the needle and shape the future of the company and the broader community that it serves?
Oh, I think that the lived experience that people actually can bring to the table, so that when we have choice to participate with
Mhm.
organizations, it attracts the talent that we want inside of our organization. So everything is connected in regards to what
Absolutely.
we intend to create. And when we think about just the research we know that exists around ensuring that diversity equals more innovation and equals
Hmm.
more opportunity, all of what we do under my leadership is all around what we can do to ensure we have highly engaged employees. That means that they're highly engaged in their business opportunities, which means that they're going to
Right.
be more engaged on outcomes. And so all of that has a thread through. And when we think about times where we are right now, where there's so many companies that are looking to figure out how can they prioritize efforts, how can they do more with
Hmm.
less, and how can they, ride the wave, whatever it may be that they're riding, the biggest differentiator any company has ever had is its people. And so it is
Agreed.
the core of all that we do. So I feel that it's a responsibility that if we are so dependent on our people to help us, grow the companies that we're in, and do the amazing things we do, we owe it to our employees also to create the environment to ensure they can bring their best versions of themselves, which is connected to inclusive environments and the sense of belonging, but also ensuring that we can meet them where they are, however they want to be met. And that's the opportunity that I have as well, sitting on an HR leadership team here inside of
Hmm.
Equinix, is that we have this strong partnership of intentionality to integrate. So it's just seamless in what we do and how we show up. And I think all of that just helps any business have better results. But at Equinix, it's super critical. It's critical to ensure that we can meet the demand that our customers need of us, because there's so much demand that is goodness for business.
Absolutely. And, our audience, I see them actively chatting. So if you all have questions for Maria, please put them in the chat and we'll get to spotlight that just momentarily. But Maria, you talk about this value and you've been mentioning from the beginning about your story, people, family, culture, identity, and then diversity, inclusion, equity, and belonging, about putting people first. And you had also talked about, in the state that the world is politically, economically, and socially, why is it such a business imperative to really meet people where they're at? What does that actually mean for those who are listening?
Yeah, it's no, I would say, I like to say it's no secret, but I've been in this work for so long that, and again, I have this lived experience, and I know when I'm walking in that door, and especially in the hybrid world that we're in, and many
Mhm.
times we're walking into people's homes, right? So
Yeah,
ensuring that employees are okay to begin with, right? That they are feeling that they're supported, that they have what they need in order to do a great job. That is vitally important, because ignoring the fact that life is happening and things are happening around us, and even the world environments that are happening, they impact everyone in some
right.
manner. And so that is why it's so important to make sure that we're meeting employees where they are, because we can't just expect people to be engaged. We can't expect people to just show up and want to do great work. They may be well intended to want to do great work, but they
Mhm.
just can't that day, or they can't that hour. Right. And so there is so much value in being able to ensure that you're meeting employees where they are, and having a very honest conversation. Because, like I tell many folks that I work with, how far I've gotten and what I've been able to do, even from a founder perspective, people that are most intended, they will smell BS, right? They'll
That
smell
is true.
it. And so that is why it's
Absolutely.
so important that as we meet employees where they are, that they understand that authenticity and the general desire to really ensure that we get to meet people and really get to know who they are. It releases something in people. I see that people are more willing to open up. They're more honest in what their experience is. And I can say, sitting on an HR leadership team, that's probably
Yes.
the biggest secret sauce, I would say, and being able to have a highly engaged employee base, is that as an HR organization, they can come to us and share how they're feeling. And so
Mhm.
that's been a real big opportunity for us. It's not a norm, I will say, and that's, again, going back to the original question that you provided me, right? That's the uniqueness we bring from a Latinidad perspective, that as Latinos, as a Mexican American, we don't do things alone, right? For us, it's our
Right.
familia, it's our primos,
Community.
it's our comadres, it's the barrio, it's all of those pieces. And we, when our community hurts, we hurt. When something is needed, we all come to, even when we don't have it, we will figure out,
Right.
bring something to the table. And so I've noticed and I've appreciated the fact that that piece of who I am as a person is just what I do. And it's a differentiator for myself as well. And I would never give it up, because it does make a difference in regards to how people even interact with you.
I love that. And how you said embracing the difference. Your difference is your differentiator, right? There's so many aspects that you bring to you. And you all heard it here. The secret sauce is really caring about others and building the community to bridge that gap. And I love, Maria, how you talk about really owning your Latinidad and saying, this is who I am. And you had talked about behind the scenes. I want to show up so people can see a Mexican American in this role. And it's so vital to not only have that representation, but see what's possible, by hearing the lived experience of someone. So thank you so much for sharing that out. I do have a few questions in the chat. I have Tammy who says, does Equinix have a formal sponsorship program to support diverse employees in advancing in their careers?
That's a great question. So we don't have a formal sponsorship program. It's actually in the works as we speak. We've had sponsorship programs that have been created by our EECNs, because we wanted to ensure that we can co-create them together and really
Mhm.
start to understand what was needed, what resonated, so that we don't just create a program that we say it's here and have people
Right,
participate. I'm a firm believer that sponsorship programs, they can't be forced. It's not like a match made in heaven, right? It requires relationship making. And so we are on that journey where we have elements of sponsorship programs. We also are bringing the sponsorship understanding to the leadership team, so that there's an understanding of what does sponsorship mean, because so many
right.
folks use the word,
Difference.
nobody really talks about what does it take, right? And for me, when you're a sponsor, you're giving a little bit of yourself. And sometimes people are ready to do that, sometimes they're not. And so I would say, just to truly answer the question, we have elements of a sponsorship program. It's not formalized just yet, but it is on
Mhm.
our prioritization roadmap for 2024, because we know that that is an absolute vital opportunity to help progress talent, especially our diverse talent. And I'm a
Absolutely.
product of that, right? I would not be in my role if I did not have sponsorship in my career.
That's awesome. So, for those of you who want to know more and ask more questions in LinkedIn, you can feel free to connect with Maria. Maria has been gracious enough to say that she can share that. So, reach out. That's a great way to connect. And, Maria, to close us out, you had talked about initiatives for 2024, but what are you looking forward to in 2024 personally?
Personally, I'm putting it out to the universe, being very intentional and really spending as much time as possible living out what I say is my legacy work, right? And what I get to do, and ensuring that everyone understands that they have an
Mhm.
opportunity to be able to gain skills to actually be able to enjoy a career that they love. And so that is what I'm really excited about. And it has so many similarities to what I do in my day job here at Equinix,
Yeah,
which is what really excites me. But that's what I really see about 2024 is opportunity for integration, for strong, meaningful partnerships, and also to be able to have real tangible outcomes, so we can
absolutely.
demonstrate that even the way that we approach things, they may look different, but they're meant to drive some intentional, sustainable outcomes that allow everyone to feel that they have a place to thrive in. So that's
Yes, I am putting that out there for you in that universe and for everybody attending, that intentionality, sustainability, success, good
yeah,
health, good wealth, and happiness. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much, Maria, for joining us all the way from Poland in the evening at the end of the workday. We appreciate you really coming to the table, sharing your secret sauce, embracing who you are, rocking those great glasses and earrings, and really being a strong representative at the executive and at that global level, that we can see someone really advocating for us on a global level and really succeeding. So thank you so much for really thriving and succeeding and sharing your time with us.
Ay, gracias a ti por la invitación. I've really enjoyed every minute of our
Claro.
conversation. Look forward to connecting with everyone on LinkedIn. Let's continue the conversation.
Absolutamente. Thank you so much. Mil gracias. Thank you to our audience for tuning in today. Keep in touch and have a wonderful rest of the day. In your case, Maria, have a wonderful evening. Stay warm and drink some tea.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Have a great day.